have control. Breach in 5, 4, 3.
What's up, guys? It's Uncle Freedom coming to you on another glorious and well-deserved day off. And today we're going to take a look at a very highly requested video, and that is looking at the Core Essentials Battle Belt. So if that sounds fun and interesting, do you go ahead and like, subscribe. The channel is growing. It's amazing. And don't forget, if you want to support the channel, take a look down below in that affiliate link section. And you're going to do it and use those links. It helps the channel anyway. For that, I thank you. So, Core Essentials Battle Belt. Now, starting all the way back when I started going over battle belts and more belts, and I talked about the Battle Belt Light, people immediately started asking me, hey, what do you think of the Core Essentials Battle Belt? I didn't have one. I reached out to Core Essentials, wanted to know what they thought about it, if it was something that they would be willing to work with me on, and they sent out a battle belt in the color that I requested. And for like the last 5 or 6 months, I have run it because it's a really neat system. So, who is Core Essentials? Well, they are the OG ratcheting gun belt. Like, that is how they made their names. That's how they made their bones. Um, they're micro adjustable, which means that I can literally adjust my belt in and out a quarter inch at a time, which is great because if you go eat a ton of food, letting it out a half an inch is a lot better than letting out an inch. I can really fine tune how it fits around my hips. You know, as if I'm pounding tons of water or whatever, I can actually adjust this thing to make it fit me better. It also has the core essentials we know as the power core. So the power core is it's their proprietary blend. It eliminates all sagging. The belt doesn't roll over or flop away. It's supposedly stronger than steel. No, I have not tested that. But it is very, very rigid. It has also got a 1-year warranty period, which is awesome. Now I know somebody's gonna be like, lifetime warranty. Here's the thing. If you're really, really beating on gear, like really beating on gear, about a year, you're going to start tearing things up that need to be replaced. Yes, there are some things that will last longer, but if you really use your gear and you get a solid year out of something that you have beat the living crap out of, that's a win. So how does this come to you? So it comes to you as an unsized belt, which is awesome, right? Because that means we don't have to worry about the sizing scheme that goes along with a lot of things. Everybody knows I'm a huge fan of Blue Alpha and the way Blue Alpha does their sizing, which is just order the size pants you wear. Your belt will fit. That is awesome. Core Essentials, on the other hand, allows you to make the decision as to how you do it. So the way Core Essentials is set up is the belt has designed cut links, which I'll show you in just a second, and they send it out with an actual tape measure. So use that tape measure and then actually use that measure to cut your belt to where you need it to be. That means the ultimate in fit is up to you. Now, preferably, if you're going to do this, I would size this thing to where you land in about the middle. So that means if you lose a little weight, you can draw it in. If you gain a little weight because you had that extra helping of chicken and dressing, you can also make it fit. But I love it. Now, what does it fit? 24 inches to 48 inches. That's a lot of freaking belt, right? So you can actually cut this off and make it kind of designed to you. The inner belt that comes with it is much the same way. We're going to do the same thing. We're going to use that. We're going to measure out what we need. And we're going to cut it off and then put the end cap on it. Super easy to do. What you end up with is 20 plus sizing points on a belt like this, and you get a belt that will literally support more than 20 pounds of gear. Now, somebody's going to be like, well, my belt's helo rated. It'll support 5,000 pounds. No. It'll hold 20 pounds of gear out if you hold it. Like, it's awesome. So what all comes with it? Well, the one I got came with the reinforced inner belt, not the padded one. I have no experience with the padded one, though it does look cool. It's just not something I would need. Mine comes with the reinforced inner belt that's 1.5 inches wide. Fits through your belt loops on your pants just like a normal inner belt would, except it's got a very specific design feature, which we're going to look at in just a second. It also comes with your 1.75 outer belt, the tip keeper itself, and your measuring tape, hex wrench, and screws. Now, There are a couple of different options. They have like a Garrison gun belt, but the ones I'm referring to are the 1.75 inch battle belt series, Molly battle belts. So the one that I ordered was the 1.75 inch Molly battle belt B1, which refers to the buckle that I have. There is no difference between the B1 and B2 in functionality. It is just a buckle design. Personally, I like the one I got with the B1. I got that guy in Ranger Green because that is the color, right? I did that. And when I got it sent to me, they also sent me their core holster mounting system and solution, which is really freaking cool. It's exceptionally well done. That core mounting solution for the holster mount is designed specifically for 3-hole pattern holsters. So think your Safariland stuff. It has 3 different ride heights you can set your holster at on that mount itself, which is really cool if you prefer a higher thing, or if you're like me and you need it all the way down because you have really long arms. It is aluminum. It's machined aluminum that is then anodized black, which is really cool. And it does come with a leg strap. Now, I will be the first to tell you is the leg strap that comes with it has no elastic feature whatsoever. It was absolutely terrible, and it went off of that thing right after it went on. Because I put it on, I tried it out, and I was like, this is awful. So I pulled it off, and the one I have on there now is an Alien Gears leg strap. Personally, for me, most of the time if I'm ordering them individually, I like T-Rex Arms thigh strap. I think it's pretty good. So after we looked at all this, the next big question everybody's going to have with the core battle belt is it made in America? No. That's going to immediately shut some people off. And Core is very upfront about it. They are very honest about it. Their duty belt series, as far as I can tell, they're 2.25 belts, which are made for law enforcement for the most part. Those are all USA made. However, the Core battle belts, the 1.75 battle belts, are assembled in America. However, the materials that they are using to make it are sourced from Mexico, China. They say parts of Asia, but I'm China. If I had to guess, I don't know for sure, but I would say China. But Mexico, Europe, and stuff like that. That personally doesn't bother me because they are still employing American workers in order to assemble and put this thing together before they send it out. But it is not a full USA made product. So if that turns you off, this may not be the answer for you. But I will tell you, it has been really, really nice. So why would you pick this over other belts? We all know I'm a huge fan of the Battle Belt Light. I've run T-Rex Arms Ryan belt. I've run Safe Life belts. Um, I've run ATS belts. Like, why would you pick this over a different belt? The adjustment, man. The ability for this thing to adjust is just freaking amazing. It is awesome. And if you don't think you need that adjustment, and I go over this when I talk about the Minuteman layout, where we talk about battle belts, one of the things I mention is the fact that the ease of adjustment on your belt is a selling point. Because I will tell you, as someone that trains when it is 20 below zero, and someone who was on the range this week when it was 95-ish degrees outside, the ability to tuck a warming layer into my pants and then still have my belt fit, and actually the adjustment for it to fit is just super simple. Eat a lot of food at lunch, getting ready to go back out on the range. You can let it out a notch or two, let it in a notch or two. And when I tell you I wore this belt, for example, over the last 3 days, I was teaching at the Nebraska Law Enforcement Training Center. I was working with handguns, teaching handguns to the new recruits, as well as low light shooting and shotguns. And I had that belt on over the course of 3 days for right at 42 hours in 3 days. So that is a lot of time spent on the range in just this endeavor with this belt on. So let's take a look at my Core Essentials battle belt. So first off, this is my belt. First off, let's look at the inner belt system, because that is kind of a cool deal. Because I had this question as well. Now, you cannot really use other companies' inner belts with the Core Essentials battle belt, because what makes the Core Essentials so good is once you size it, you have a track, and that track allows you to bring the belt in or let the belt out. So your battle belt, this is the reinforced inner belt. It is quite rigid, very comfortable though. And you will notice on the front of this belt, when we size this guy out, this is what we're looking at, right? So this would be the belt. But you see this part in the middle that has no rigidity whatsoever, right? It's all hex gridded out. What this means is when I actually size this belt, because I installed my my keeper cap on the end, this is where it fits me. Now this allows me at its loosest point to be all the way expanded, but as I draw it in, I can draw this 4 inches worth of stuff in and actually make the belt fit tighter without increasing bulk in the front of my pants or having to adjust my inner belt. That said, I will tell you that this was not functional in a manner in which I would have run this as a concealed carry belt. This is not that kind of belt, but it is a very good platform, a very comfortable platform, very good Velcro quality on here for your belt. So that is how our inner belt works. This was one of my first questions. It was like, well, how the hell does that adjust on the fly? Because that's the big deal with cores, it's adjustable on the fly. But it's because when we size it, we're sizing it so that we have that full grid in the front. And then as we draw it in, we can draw it in all the way to there, and it won't impact our ability to wear the belt, which is really cool. So the Core Essentials Battle Belt. This is the track pattern here in the front. This is what allows us to have that adjustment. 1/4 inches, I have adjustments everywhere. I can make this thing fit me when I tuck in more clothes, or if I'm losing water weight and kind of weight on the range, which happened this week. And the way this guy is designed, if you look in here, you'll see these individual lines threaded through here. So every section of this is sewn off, hard sewn off, and you'll actually cut this end off, and then your core buckle mounts with these 2 screws and a locking tooth tab. This is my release function here on the bottom, and once I put it in, it just ratchets in. Comes with this cool belt keeper. So we would put this guy in and then fasten down that belt keeper there, which is basically the system that we're looking at here. It uses industrial strength hard hook on the back of it, which is really, really nice. It's very secure once you put it on. So let's look at how I set this guy up. Again, this is the B1, which is annotated by that B1 styled buckle in a Ranger green pattern. So let's look at this guy. We'll go left to right. So first up here, you see this empty guy here hanging out. This is the 100 Concepts, also an affiliate of the channel. I do believe I have a coupon code on that on the link tree, but this is their Chem Light setup. I have some replacement straps here. The way this guy works out is I have these pull tabs on every Chem Light, and it allows me to rip it off the belt. This keeps them bundled versus the using the old elastic bands of yore. But this is on here. I used all mine up while I was gone. S-Tac, double pistol, gap pouch, Glock 17 mags with the Warren +5 base plates on here. I attach all mine with Malice clips. S-Tac, short rifle in Ranger green, Flatline Fiber Co. dump pouch right here. This is the full-size dump pouch. And again, I have a 20-round mag, not a 30-round mag, with a Warren +5 base plate for the P-mags. This thing is awesome. I love it because it sits a little lower. It doesn't hit things as much, which is nice. I like this because it frees up some room. I don't have to have my dump pouch, which you typically ride about here. I don't have to have it on there. So moving around to the back, on the very back of this guy, I have a Live the Creed Responder IFAK. This is pretty cool. You just unbuckle. I can rip it out either way. Comes with a tourniquet hammock that I have on the bottom of the Cat Gen 7. Then on the back side, I have a double pistol mag pouch just hanging out here. And this is typically where I will keep my multi-tool, flashlight, or spare pistol mags. And then we have the next part of this, which is Core Essentials holster hanger. So we'll go ahead and pop this holster off because I have it mounted up with a QLS. Now you'll notice here that this guy's got some reverse cant to it, which is awesome. But when this guy comes out, it's actually set up for the duty belt at 2 1/4 or the battle belt at 1.75. Now this is a really thick, rigid piece of aluminum. You can see on the back here, it's got a built-in leg shroud spot, and this is actually the Alien Gear thigh strap. Really nice. But I dig it. I dig how rigid this setup is. I mean, it doesn't move at all. And then on the very front of this guy, I have a Blue Alpha cuff pouch. This would be the large. This is for the asp handcuffs because, again, popo, got to have cuffs. because this belt is not just a go to the range and train belt. This is also a call out belt. So if I am at home and I am called out to deal with something that is going on that requires more people than whoever's on and they need me, I might need cuffs. So those are mounted on here. That is mounted Molly the way you see it there. It also has a spot on the back for you to put a cuff key. It's a really cool laser cut system, very lightweight from Blue Alpha. I do like it. Just make sure that whatever one you get, if you're going to run asps, get the right size. If you're not going to run asps, don't buy the large size, because your normal like Smith & Wesson 100 cuffs will just rattle in that because it doesn't hold them tight. So that is the battle belt setup for the Core Essentials 1.75 battle belt. So on there, I had this holster on there for this the rest of this week that I was out there. This is a Safariland 6378 RDS with a nub mod for the retention system on here. Safariland QLS. This guy right here goes to the handgun you guys saw in the duty handgun setup. This is my Acro P2 equipped Block 45 Talos edition with a Radian Ramjet Afterburner Surefire X300 Turbo, Cogworks slide stop, slide release, agency arms, trigger and mag release, Overwatch precision minus connector, Ameriglow suppressor height sights, and SLR short rifle, or SLR Rifle Works short magwell. This thing functions flawlessly out on the range, as would be expected. Great time. Some of the other instructors that were out there with me actually commented on that video, because my gun kind of disappeared at one point during the day. Everybody was playing with it. So yeah, that was how I run this guy. So what do I think? It is a really, really well-made, strong, stout belt. The leg strap is a miss for me. Leg straps are required to have elastic in them because they will bind on you if they don't have some kind of give. And that could be something as simple as the hanger that goes underneath your holster mount that allows it to swivel with your leg. But if it doesn't have that, you are basically going to restrict yourself a lot on movement. And I didn't find it very comfortable. It was an almost immediate thing. I got rid of it. Oh yeah, this guy also has the Portal X from Ghostman Design. That extended portal cover is for when I run the PL350 from Mod Light. So that belt's going to set you back $139.95. That's the inner belt, the outer belt with that B1 buckle. That holster mount system that you saw on there is $89.95. So we are basically talking about roughly $230 to get that belt as it sits without all the stuff on it. So $230 for a really solid inner belt with a really adjustable precision fit battle belt with an aluminum hanger for the holster mount. Now, there are a lot of options for the holster mount out there. You have True North, you have stuff from Blue Force Gear, you have the tried and true Safariland stuff, you have Blade Tech that does their own stuff, and you can also, which you guys are going to see in an upcoming video, mount your Safariland holsters to your Alien Gear belts, drops. There are a lot of options out there. I do think this option is great. I do. I do not like the thigh strap. And I do like how it's made. But you are going to be limited to mainly using a Safariland setup for a quick disconnect system, which I can take or leave, right? I think it's a good system. To do it again, would I have bought it? Probably not. I will tell you, it is very easy to put on the belt because it bolts onto the belt versus sliding onto the belt, which is a lot easier to do. Now, would I buy the Core battle belt again? 100%. 100%. This thing is rock solid. It is comfortable. I love the fact that if I ate a little too much at lunch, I can drop this guy back, a half an inch to make it fit just right. Or I can, suck it in if I haven't eaten in a day or two and we're sitting there running in the rage. I can make this tighter. I can make it looser. Also, if I were to lose a ton of weight, and this is a big freaking deal to me, because we should all be striving to be a better, more fitter version of the person we were yesterday, today. So if that's the case and we are on this journey and we are losing weight, as you have reached the end of your ability to ratchet this down, I can just simply remove the buckle and cut another inch or inch and a half off of this belt and resize it to what I am now, giving this a lot more longevity and me not having to buy a whole nother belt setup as a penalty for the fact that I am trying to be a better, more fitter me. So that is a selling point for me, as it should be for everyone involved. But at $140, if you didn't buy the holster mount, is that belt worth it? 100%. Absolutely. The inner belt is awesome, though I do wish, I understand why I can't run this concealed carry, but this ability for me to let this guy in and out is really, really, really awesome. Like I said, I would do it again. It has been remarkably stable. Having it on all that time, even just this week, I never had hip problems. Nothing pinched me anywhere. I didn't feel like it was uncomfortable to do anything in. It was just a really, really solid, stable platform for me to teach out of and work out of as we're shooting and doing stuff on the range. So, guys, there is your look at the Core Essentials Battle Belt, 1.75 inch battle belt. My thoughts on that are, yeah, it's worth the money. Yeah, I would buy it again. And yeah, I'm really excited I have one. So thanks to Core Essentials for sending that belt out to me for me to check it out and tell you good folks about it. I am not an affiliate of Core. They may make me one, but I am not right now. I get nothing if you go buy those, but I will tell you it's worth the money if this is what you're in the market for. The adjustment that you can do on the fly is just awesome. Because I've been on the range and suddenly it started raining, and now I've got a rain jacket on that I've tucked into my pants, and my normal belt was either squeezing off circulation, or if it was adjusted for that and all of a sudden I didn't have it, it was like having a winter belt and a summer belt. That belt does them both, and that's pretty freaking awesome. So guys, I am Uncle Freedom. Take care of yourself. Take care of each other. Until next time, I'll see you later.